What's up, brother? Welcome back. Episode 13 of the Something Cafe podcast. I'm your host, Celestino Dooley, and today, that is me. And I'm currently wearing a jersey. Why am I wearing a jersey? Because I am the sketch that you would buy off of Temu or Wish.com, and not the actual sketch. I do a good impression of him, though. I'm actually pretty good at impressions. Less of like characters and being able to do famous people, and more just like voices that I hear throughout the day. Like everybody at work that I work with at the hospital, I do a spot on impression of, like perfect. But I'm wearing this jersey because today I was supposed to have my little brother on, and this is his jersey. And he is so uncoordinated and so bad at keeping schedules and plans that he didn't know that I record at this time, when I've specifically told him that I record every Saturday at 10 a.m. And he said, "Well, you never told me that." So I scrolled up in all of our texts, and sure, I never texted to him, but I know I've said it to him over the phone. This is the third time I've tried to have him on. So instead of him, you're getting his jersey. And instead of a football player, you're getting Lars the cat, who I'm looking at right now, chasing his own tail. Welcome to episode 13 of the Something Cafe podcast. I have a big announcement for y'all. I'm very excited. This is a small glimpse into the overall dream of this project. You thought I was just starting with the Something Cafe podcast, huh? You thought I was starting with just a podcast? My friend. No. My friend. You don't even know how crazy I am when it comes to the things that I want to. The Something Cafe podcast is just the mustard seed to the overgrown arboreal growth that this brand will become. Because just yesterday, we have officially announced the second series under the Something Cafe Studios brand. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There are 2 shows you can watch now under the Something Cafe Studios brand. We have the Something Cafe podcast, which was here first and will be the last one to leave because it's not going anywhere. This is the apatheon of the Orwellian justification jurisdiction of entertainment. And the other show is the second series. Actually, let me read you the little intro that I sent people when I announced this. First episode of the brand new series, brought to you from the host of the Something Cafe podcast, comes his new show, Cafe Critique. A show reviewing movies in the most unprofessional and entertaining way out there. Sit down with Celestino Dooley and Brittany Loudon as they critique every new film. Welcome to the Cafe Critique. That's right, the second series under the Something Cafe Studios brand is the Cafe Critique. It is just Cafe Critique. I say movies, but it's everything. It'll be TV shows and video games and stuff like that. It's going to primarily be movies, though. New episodes out every Thursday on everywhere, just like this one is. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. But we are up. It is 12 p.m. on a bright Saturday morning. And I have a time limit, so this episode will not be the 2 hours that I accidentally do for too long, because I try to hit an hour and a half. I do have to leave in exactly an hour and a half for my barber appointment. And when I say that, When I say barber, what do you think? Huh? I've said that, to someone out in public, and they said, "Dude, dude, what are you, brother, brother? What are you talking about?" Because you guys have only seen me from the front. I don't know if I've ever turned my head. Your boy's got some long hair. Your boy's got some long hair. So what kind of barber am I going to where am I getting my hair cut? Well, it's for my beard, baby. I'm thinking about cutting it off. Don't worry, ladies, please. Don't worry. I will still somewhat look like a Middle Eastern Santa Claus, but I'm going to get it shaved down. I really want to grow it out. I do. I mean, my dream is to have a full ass beard. I really, really want one. Just like one of them big lumberjack beards going on. They look good on. I feel like they look good on brothers of my size. Kind of just complements the rest of the look, the long hair, the lumberjack vibe. Hides the double chin. What could possibly be a triple chin. But it's just not growing out as I wanted it to. I mean, it's there. I don't know. It kind of looks terroristy. I don't know. It sucks, because like when it comes to growing hair anywhere, you have to go through that grace period. You have to go through that grace period of like that awkward stage. Okay, so like I remember when I was first growing out the hair on the top of my head. My middle phase was actually not that bad. I actually my hair looked good when it was in the middle of short and long. But you have to go through that until you can finally get to the point where the hair is heavy enough for it to rest downwards. But the beard, I don't know. I've been working on it for so long. I've been waiting for so long, telling myself, that it's gonna finally, grow out if I just keep waiting. Blah blah blah, and it just hasn't happened yet. And I still look like Osama bin Laden's nephew. So I'm gonna go get it chopped off today, but not completely. I'm not getting clean shaven. When I get clean shaven, I look like the underside of an ice cream cone, brother. That just ain't a pretty sight. So I'm gonna get that just kind of down to the stubble. We'll see. I feel confident about myself. I'll feel fine. Speaking of which, I had a couple people in my life come up to me, figuratively. Okay, that's a hard word. Figularly. I had a couple people come up to me figularly and say something along the lines of, "Yo, like that last episode was depressing. That last episode was sad. That last episode, my boy Michael at work, shout out Michael, he said, it was just kind of like an observation, just kind of like, man, like that was kind of hard to hear." My mom texted me. She said, well, "This is so depressing. Why? What's wrong with you?" So that's love right there, brother. Like I don't like talking about that stuff. I don't. But I said this on the last episode. I've said this to everyone who's asked me about it, and this is my response to that. Take a famous comedian, Theo Von. Okay, dude's incredible. If you know Theo Von, you would be able to draw some parallels from his comedy to my comedy, just with the country accent here and there, stupid metaphors and similes, stuff like that, like calling my fully shaved face, the bottom side of an ice cream cone with a southern accent. which actually truly isn't even me playing a character or putting on an act. Like that's just like I've never had like a thick Southern accent, but like since I'm from the Midwest, and that's what I was around all the time. It kind of like it's still in me. You know what I say, man? You can't you can't take you can't take. I'm really nailing this saying. You you can't take the you sweet mercy. You know what y'all just witnessed there? When you left your lights on overnight and you get in your car to try to start it. Fing, 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 fing. Fing, 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 fing. Woo! And I'm not gonna have Evan edit that out because that, ladies and gentlemen, was what that's like an inside look to what Tourette syndrome actually is. Let me go back to what I was saying. You can take the Italian boy out of the Midwestern sister kissing town. But you can't take the Midwestern sister kissing town out of the Italian boy. You know what I mean, man? You know, and it's kind of funny because it's an odd thing that I do because I would like to think I don't talk with a Southern accent a lot. It's certainly there, like always, very, very, very lightly. If you really pay attention to it, you can kind of pick it up with like that right there. You can kind of pick it up. You can kind of pick it up slightly there. But a lot of my humor, I grew up with all these farmers who would just say some of the funniest stuff you've ever heard and the funniest accents and blah blah blah. And you had, it's funny. And if you're not from a place where I'm from, you're gonna laugh. But this is true that the best comedy and where I grew a lot of my comedy inspiration from, it was Tow Mater from the movie Cars. That was like my childhood movie. I love no movie more than Cars. If a girl asks me what my favorite movie is, that I don't say that. But when we get to know each other a little bit better, I kind of hit her with the, some men hit their soon to be spouses with the hard truths, something like, I meant to, I thought it was the right time to tell you, but I'm infertile. I thought it was the right time to tell you I'm allergic to tree nuts. I thought it was a good time to finally tell you that I am spooky good at solving a Rubik's Cube. But for me, I get a girl comfortable. Brother, I hit her with the, hey, baby girl, I thought it was time to tell you that my inspiration growing up was Tow Mater from Cars. And that's Tow Mater without the T. And that right there is a reference to the movie. Back to what I was saying, totally derailed that whole topic. Theo Von. Again, go listen to some of Theo Von, come back and try to find a few of my little quips. You'll be like, yeah, that brother's he's an influence. So go listen to a Theo Von episode, right? It's maybe one of his earlier ones. He's a famous comedian, and he has entire episodes where he's just talking about some of the most depressing stuff ever. Just, yeah, man, oh wow, that was a strong one. Theo Von's accent isn't that strong. It's like, yeah, man, I kind of grew up this and that, my dad this and that, and I was lonely, blah blah blah. And Theo Von has like 3-hour episodes all about that, some like the most depressing stuff. And you know what? I mean, that's what I did on last episode, but instead of 3 hours, it was just the first half. It was just the first 30 minutes. I would like to argue that the second half of last week's episode was actually rather funny. I actually, when I went back to it to watch it, I was like, okay, all right, good. Like I actually pulled it through. But why am I fine with talking about that stuff on something this public? It's funny. You know, I don't know why, but I'm comfortable. And I think it's pretty easy to understand why I'm comfortable with that. I'm by myself, right now. Like there's no one else in the room except for Lars. So, talking to the phone, which will have a video of this that goes out to everyone in the world if they so choose to watch it, that everyone will know what I'm thinking about. I'm saying things I would really not like to say even to just one person in private. But it's kind of like a little cheat code because it gets me to talk about it. It gets me to raise awareness to it. And the most important part and what I've been building up to this entire time, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm making the issues I have so aware. I'm praying to the one and only God. I am praying to the one and only all-powerful God that someone can listen to it, hear what I'm saying, hear all of the depressing, lonely stuff that I'm talking about that's going through this twisted little monkey mind. And I hope they can listen to that and think to themselves, so I'm not the only one. Welcome to the Something Cafe, ladies and gentlemen. So, man, I'm feeling good today. You know, I'm gonna go see my barber. I'm watching so basically the release schedule for the Cafe Critique every Thursday. Me and Brittany go see a movie every Friday night. It is a Saturday. She had to move it, but we go see a movie every Friday night. We get to see it for free because I got this like $20 a month pass. Super awesome. I'm saving a ton of money. And we go see a new movie every single week. And then after we go see the movie, we come back here and we record it. We record the video. Super, super fun. The Cafe Critique, don't let that scare you. You know what I mean? It's a movie review series. Brother, take a look at me. What on earth do I know about Gone with the Wind? I don't know nothing about movies. But that's why I think it makes for a fun series. Is we tagline it with the fact that it is a unprofessional opinion review show, so I don't want to spoil what the second episode is going to be, but the first episode that came out yesterday was about the movie Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney. I mean, that movie was kind of ass. Just because I'm not a huge fan of horror, I think I gave it a pretty low score. But like, what do I know about horror and movies? So I will tell you the format just a little bit, just to kind of pull you in. The first like maybe 15 minutes, we say the first half. It's almost like the first quarter. The first quarter of the video is just spoiler-free opinions and this and that. Summary, but then we announce when we're going to get into the spoiler zone, and then we just rip on the movie. And if you enjoy my commentary here, I think you would enjoy my commentary on some of these movies, some of these dumb, batshit weird movies. And it's I think it's rather entertaining, a little biased, but hey, who's not a little biased? Pretty sure that's a gender now. We've been posting some social media content, man. My editor, Evan Greenfield, that kid is one of the most talented people I've met in my entire life. And if you would have told me that this little skinny little nerd dude with a great attitude and a great personality that I met in high school, I don't even know why me and Evan became such friends. Me and him could not be more different. Evan's listening to this right now. He's literally the one who's editing this. So like I'm kind of part telling you guys and part asking him personally. How the heck did we even? I can't. I mean, it was obviously banned, but I don't know. I don't know what made us click so hard. But if you would have told me me and him were gonna start something that was gonna be that was gonna let us quit our day jobs in the next 15 years. If you would have told us that back in high school, then I would have called you a crazy little corn muffin. But here we are. And Evan's a beast. He's posting, he's editing and posting these little clips on every social media account that the Something Cafe podcast has. If that's not a trooper, then you need to rewatch Star Wars, brother. Because, I mean, I am more than impressed. To the fact where this is literally my idea and my project and my brand, and I'm the owner of this. And I'm sending him texts like, is there something more that I can do? Is there more I can work on for you? Like that's how much work he's doing. That the owner of all of this, I'm asking him like, is there something else I can do? You know, like he is amazing, and he's posting these shorts every single day at like 2:30 p.m. On everything, and we've been seeing some good freaking numbers, man. Seriously, for all like every account on these social medias is new, right? Like it's a fresh new account. I didn't. It's not like I converted my account with all my music on it. It's not like I converted that one to the podcast. Like all these accounts are brand spanking new. Get this, guys. You know, like YouTube has YouTube Shorts. It's something that no one knows about. It's like YouTube's version of TikTok and Instagram Reels. We had a video. A little, it's just a little short, little clip cut out of the episode with me and my mom. The clip was of my mom telling a story about how I was a little late on the whole potty training. I was a little tardy to that shardy little bus, but it was personally my least favorite video, and I said that to Evan's face. I said, I can't believe you clipped this. It's a little embarrassing, but I was like, you know what? Screw it. Post it. Almost 6,000 views on YouTube Shorts. 5.8K views. Almost 200 likes and like 15 comments. Holy crap. Yeah. Now, obviously, not every video is doing this good. The algorithm picks up videos at a whim, just like colleges pick out what kind of students they want to go to their campus and leave out the good ones, you know. So, man, when me and him were looking at that, and me and him were saying to each other, you know, not every video is going to look like this right now, but give us a couple of months and every video will look like that one, and there will be one that's doing even better than those. I'm telling you guys right now, those of you who are here now listening and watching, you know what? Let me get even more specific. To the ones that know me personally, hear me and hear me well when I say I'm enjoying this more than I've ever enjoyed music. I want you to understand what that means. And I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I want you to understand what that means for those of you who actually know me pretty well. The fact that I just said that, that's my guarantee that you will be seeing this brand, podcast, whatever, you will be seeing this brand in some way in the next 5 years become something big. Not saying we're going to be the next Barstool. You never know. You never know. I want you guys to understand that right now. You know, that's kind of an intro. Little freaking 26-minute intro. Less of an intro, just more of kind of like a little warm-up, little recap telling you guys, no, I'm okay. I did not hang myself since I recorded the last episode. You know what did happen? I got blown off by a girl for a date. And the way I worded that Now that I just hear what just came out of my mouth, probably not the best way to put that. But you know what? This is Something Cafe podcast, man. Instead of correcting myself, let's do this. Let's all take a sip. I looked you right in the eyes for that one. Just a reminder, let the camera focus. Something Cafe mug with the old logo on it. Which I just realized. That's all right. Not that they're drastic of a change. If you didn't realize, take a look at your streaming service that you're listening to this right now. I did change the logo a little bit. I took the shadow away from the title, and then instead of flowers, I put a coffee cup. That's right. I'm trying not to run over Lars's leg. So yeah, I was supposed to go on a date with the girl today, actually. Now that I think about it. A girl I met on Hinge. What did I expect? You know? And like and like the first like in the on like the second or third day of us talking, for some reason like our matches on Hinge came up, and she was like, "How many girls have you matched with on this app?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I've had this app for like maybe 5 months now, and I've probably matched with like 6 girls, and 2 of them actually talked to me on here and set up a date that they never followed through with. So I've got a pretty good Dennis Rodman record going on right there, brother." And then I asked her, which was my biggest mistake. She was like, "Oh, like I just matched with like 6 guys today." Something like that just makes you feel like Forrest Gump does it, doesn't it? And I'm like, huh, really? Because look, dudes are so visual. Dudes are so much. What's a gentlemanly way to put this that won't make my mother upset with me? I'm really trying hard right now, Mom. Hold on. I'm thinking. Dudes are so much more driven for the sole purpose of the physical pleasure, I should say, than some women are. So women match with men a whole lot more than men match with women. You know, like I'm like a solid 4, you know. I'm a solid 4 out of 10, you know, and I've only matched with like 6 girls in 5 months, and I use the app every other day. And she matched with like 6 guys that day. And there's, you know, the ratio's a bit skewed on that one, brother. So I almost wonder if, and it's so funny. I was telling my buddy this at work. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it on the episode tomorrow. And he was like, but bro, you shoulder the podcast, man. Like, what if she listens, man? It's like, man, I don't care. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not crazy, you know. But it's still funny to talk about. Like, she kind of blew things off, so I don't care. So I am hitting her with softballs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hitting her with absolute softballs. I am hitting just like cute, flirtatious gentleman stuff. You know, just stuff that's kind of like that would make someone hear, like someone would hear me say this to a girl, and that person would go, "Oh, damn, smooth, like margarine." And she's just like, like I'm hitting her with absolute soft balls. I am practically not even pitching her the ball. I'm practically just walking up to her, putting it on top of the baseball tee, and walking away and letting her hit it. And she's literally missing. If a girl, listen to me right here, if a girl was saying the things to me that I was saying to her, I would have a family right now. I would have niños. I would have children right now if a girl were saying the things I was saying to her, to me. Nothing too abrasive, nothing sexual, just absolute chivalry. Absolute chivalry. For example, let me hit you with the one of the softballs and ladies. If you're listening to this, you might need to, you might want to sit down for this one, all right? Or you fruity little men out there might want to sit down for this one. This one might knock you out. We're talking about our favorite movies. I say my favorite movies are Whiplash and the entire Fast and Furious franchise. And she says her favorite movies are all the Harry Potter ones. Nerd. I've never seen them though, so I was like, oh, I've never seen. And you know what's great about texting is that I don't stutter on text. Woo-hoo! Dude, on text I am George Clooney. In person I am George Ballooney. All right, but on text, I'm all of the oceans. I'm not just Ocean 11, brother. I'm every single one. I'm even the one with the girl cast. She says, I like Harry Potter. I say I've never seen any of the Harry Potters. And we're talking blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to hint at like hey, maybe you could like come over and like we could like watch Harry Potter. Like that's like an easy, that's like like such an easy first cast of the fishing pole, like you're getting ready to cast and you're like, cast. And like the bobber drops in the water and the hook is, let's watch a movie together. Something easy, something innocent, something, chill, but still we get to like be together in the same room, just something, so I'm trying to cook here. And I say, oh gosh, she said, I don't think you would like them, and like I wouldn't expect you to like them. Just like something like she was super self-deprecating, which like I am too, but not to the ladies. No. Any woman that I talk to that I have a modicum of interest in, they think I'm the most confident person in the world. So she's saying, oh, I don't know, it's you might not like them, blah 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 blah, and that was my. Guys, you guys ever seen James Bond? Huh? You guys ever seen James Bond? I am the James Bond that's a little bit closer to a diabetes diagnostic. You hear me? She said you might not like them, and I saw that as an opportunity to strike like a viper. I saw that text, and Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but your boy's not a little boy no more. Your little boy's a man. A man with a couple words in the back of his pocket. A man who has been utterly unsuccessful by now. And I don't know why. Okay? This next sentence that I tell you guys as an audience, once I say what I hit her with, Mom and Dad, you will probably, when I tell you what I said to her, and I'm talking just to my mom and dad now, this is probably the reason you don't have grandchildren yet. Being completely honest. She said you might not like him, and I said, no. I promise I'll like them. Damn it. I'm trying to set it up because I feel so weird right now. I'm talking on my phone. I'm looking at Pikachu, trying to flirt with freaking Pikachu right now. I said, she said, you might not like them. I said, it doesn't matter if I like them, if I like the movies or not. I'll love them. I'll love them as long as my like arms around your shoulder. Damn it, something. Okay, something. Shoot me. Shoot me for trying. I said something like she's like, you might not like him. I said I was like, I would like any movie with my arm around your shoulder. So Katniss Everdeen shot. Tell me. That was not at least an attempt. Huh? Come on. If a girl hit me with that, brother, the wedding would be next week. I'm telling you. If a girl hit me with that, I would have been in the car before she sent the text. I said, I would like any movie with my arm around your shoulder. Even stupid Harry Potter. And I hit her with this softball. And you know what she said? I don't know. That kind of thing takes the wind out of your sails, doesn't it? That kind of thing takes the wind out of your sails, doesn't it? Now take that softball that I just gave you, because I don't want to give away all my secrets. The three of you that are listening, I don't want to give out all of my secrets. But I hit her with many other softballs just like that one, that were just as smooth. Como margarine. Como mantequilla. Claro. Yo hablo como mantequilla con las chicas. Tú no sabes qué quiero. Una chica fuega. Sí. I hit her with so many of these softballs, and she would just be like, IDK. Probably not. Okay. So we set up this date for today. And she canceled it like what? It was like Thursday. I think she canceled it. And this is not the first time I've ever gotten this text before. Like, this is not the first time I've had a stupid dating app. Like, I've had my phases of deleting it and hopping back on and deleting it and hopping back on. But it was the typical, I don't think I'm ready, blah, blah, blah. I thought I was ready for a relationship, which, fair. Like, I'm not saying that's not valid. Because Lord knows for some reason, I can think of a particular instance where I said that to a girl one time. Because I truly was. I was in school, I was doing a lot, I thought I was ready, but then I was like, no, this is way too much. But I was great with that girl. Like, we went on like plenty of dates and hung out and blah, blah, blah. And I made her feel like a freaking princess, but which is probably why it hurt her more. The girl that I said this to, but like I don't know. But I still kept in touch with that one. And we did end up kind of seeing each other, during the later part of that year, so I mean, I'm not stupid. I'm not saying that reason is not valid. It's a very valid reason. I question it when she wasn't even trying, which she really wasn't. I question it when she's on the app looking for this, and she's not even trying. Right? Well, then you could say, we'll sell this. Isn't that what you just said you did with the girl in the past? Well, yeah, I was on the app trying, but I actually tried for the relationship. Like, we were actually active, like going out and doing things and blah, 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 So I'm just like, how do you even know you don't have time for this? We didn't even do anything. It took you like 30 seconds to send IDK. From the sounds of it, it sounds like you have this packed down, brother. Or should I say sister? So, and at the end of the text, she said, I don't want to waste your time. You are way too nice. Yeah, because that's what the dude wants to hear. Hey, you're like the nicest guy ever. Like, literally a more handsome Elmo with longer hair and a bit of a speech impediment. You are like the nicest guy, but I just realized I don't have time for that. That's kind of like saying, that's kind of like going to the bakery and the chef tells you behind the counter, I am baking this amazing cake. This fantastic cake. And it's going to be done in about 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, it's actually going to be free. Like it's actually going to be free. Like in 30 minutes when this cake is done, and if you're still here, I will give it to you for completely free. So you say, okay, of course I'm going to wait. That's a free freaking cake. And he said it's an amazing cake. So you wait 30 minutes, you waste your time, you wait 30 minutes for this cake, and when the cake's finally done, the chef says, "Oh, sorry, it's actually going to be $60." Okay. So, I'm not too upset about it, to be honest with you. You know, at first I was kind of like I went through probably maybe one day, like I think I probably went through like a good 12-hour period of like hating myself, but it's fine. It wore off really really quick. That's usual because I'm kind of used to this by now. But you know, my buddy at work convinced me to send her a nice text in response to that message she had sent me, which took me all day to finally get myself to actually send that text. Originally, I just wasn't going to respond to that text because it's like, well, thanks for, you know, leading me on and wasting my time. Maybe that's why I'm single. Like when she sent that text, I was like, yep, all right. Like I just tossed my phone on the bed and went back to what I was doing. Like I was like, all right, you all right. Bye, you know, see ya. Like there wasn't really a connection here. And my buddy was like, hey bro, but like my buddy said, you know, but hey man, like you should probably like keep the door open, man, because like you never know, man. I was like, dude, yes, if it wasn't from an app. There is no previous relationship even established. You know what I mean? Like it's different when it's maybe someone at school or someone at work or whatever, right? Like you continue to be at least cordial with them. But off the app, dude, I'd send her a picture of a dead squirrel. All right? And that's fine. This is some stranger I met on this app. She sends that text to me. I have the right to say, you know, see ya, and put a really bad GIF. But I thought to myself, you know, my buddy at work that's kind of talking, that's kind of letting me talk about all this stuff to him. He's giving me some advice and stuff like that. He is the married one. So, and he has an amazing, beautiful wife. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's on to something. Oh man, I'm not even tripping about it really. Just another day in the life of a man who does what no other 20-year-old in the world does, which is not do anything social and just work on his dreams. That is the life in the man and the life of Celestino and Dooley at the Something Cafe podcast. I haven't even gotten to my list of topics yet. You know what, guys? I've been talking so much, and you know what? That's a first. I'm going to take a sip. Let me tell you guys something. All right, we're in about 47 minutes. It sucks that I have to leave at 1:30. I want to. It's fine. When I would like when I was growing up watching movies and stuff like that. You know, like sometimes movies start and it's maybe like a flashback. You know, like it starts. The movie starts and it's establishing like some kind of story, and then maybe like 10 minutes in, you will get the title card that says present day. You know, it's conveying the fact that was a flashback and now we're in the present. When I was growing up, I was every time I saw that, I was like, why does every movie take place on present day? I have never heard of this holiday. Ever. And I was thinking, like, are they talking about Christmas? Is that present day? Then I was like, well, no, because then they would just say Christmas, right? Are they talking about President Day? President's Day? Then it's like, well, if they were, they would just spell that out. So I was always like so confused why every movie, like every cartoon or whatever, like took place during present day, and why it was such an important holiday to shoot a movie on. It took me so long to finally realize, like, oh, that's not like a holiday. That's not like a throwaway holiday like President's Day is, or something. That's just telling you now now you're in the present day of the timeline. It took me years to finally realize that freaking that like that like present day wasn't a real holiday. Oh man, because that never made sense. Speaking of which, not speaking of which, this has nothing to do with what I just said. I was just, when I was talking to my buddies at work, I totally forgot about this story. And me and my buddy were talking about like old systems like Game Boy and portable CD players and stuff like that. And the way, typically on Christmas, a mother tries to make you feel warm and loved and excited for all the new toys that Santa just gave you. One Christmas, my mother did the opposite to me. One Christmas, me and Declan wake up and we run out to the living room. We grab our presents, we sit down, and Mom and Dad say, I think Santa wants you both to open these two boxes at the exact same time. Later in life did I learn that just meant they were the same item, and if one were to open it before the other, there would be no surprise. Good strategy, Mom. Good strategy, Dad. So we're opening up these boxes, me and my little bro, the one that cannot keep a schedule for the life of him and was supposed to be on today. That little loser. Me and my little brother open up this box, and he tears through it a little bit faster than I did. He's an athlete, by the way. And it's a box for his first ever iPhone. First ever iPhone. I'm thinking to myself, that's what's in my box too, huh, Mom? Yeah? That's what's in my box too. I'm excited. Estoy emocionado. So I'm so happy. I ripped through my box even faster than I was before. And I get down to the cardboard box. I get down to it, and it's open, and I'm looking at it, and it's a Cinnabon box for cinnamon snack bars. And I think, looking back on it, I should have been more of a... I had the right to be upset. But I was more of a gentleman back then when I was 6. So I started crying, but I was holding it back as hard as I could. And I looked up at Mom and Dad, and I was like, thank you for my Cinnabon. Trying to hold back my tears because I'm like, Declan just got a phone and I got snacks. And I'm already fat, so this makes me feel great. And, Mom and Dad are like laughing their butts off, just dying laughing because, that's love. That's love. Thank you so much for my box, just like, thank you so much. And I'm just trying to be humble, And then mom said, "All right." Mom said, "All right, Nino, oh, open up that box." I was like, "Okay, open up the box. Okay, I'm gonna open up the box. I'm gonna send the snacks." And I open up the box, and there are Cinnabon snack bars in the box. I'm like, this is a real box. I'm just like, it's just getting worse. And mom was like, "No, look in the box." And past the Cinnabon snack bars was my new iPhone. For all of you future parents out there, let me tell you this. That's how you create a villain. You hear me? If I wasn't so just and amazing, that's the type of thing that creates another Joker. That's the type of background childhood story that creates another Batman villain. Mom and dad were so close to harboring the most dangerous man in the world. If I didn't have such a big heart back then, I could have become the next bad guy. I opened that box, saw those snacks, cried even more, grabbed my new phone. I was all happy, I like when kids are crying and then they get what they want, like the tears just like somehow just evaporate and they start acting like they've never cried before in their life. I did that switch right back. Oh my gosh, thank you, mom. And man, dude, I love thinking back on that. Just like the portable devices. The first one I had, I believe, was the plain old DS, I think. Then I had like the 2DS, the 2DS Max or something. Then I had the 3DS with that stupid bulky Nerf case. You guys remember those? The bulky Nerf case that was made out of the same material that a pool noodle was made out of, and like chunks of foam would just like flake and fall off of it. Oh man, you guys remember that, man? Oh man. I love that. You know what else I love? Guys, dude, this last week has been, oh my gosh. This last week has genuinely, not in like a giant way, but it has changed my life in sorts. It has changed. This last week has changed my life. So this week, for full disclosure, today is Saturday the 13th. So the week that just ended was my first week in my new position in the OR. That's as far as I'm gonna say. I don't want to, because God forbid, when this episode becomes very popular, and I don't want the company coming back and dinging me for saying their name or whatnot. But I'll just say I work in the OR, and I'm not a clinical employee. I am materials. That's about as vague as I'll get. It has been so much fun. You guys want to know something? Last night when I was driving home from the cafe, it was like maybe like 12:30, 1. You guys want to know something? I was literally, for a second, I had excitement and joy inside of my chest because I thought tomorrow was going to be a work day. And then when I realized that the next day was going to be Saturday, I actually got a little bit upset. I want you guys to hear that and really think about that. That I'm this excited over a 9 to 5. And this isn't any 9 to 5. I have worked my ass off to not even get to the position where I am right now, to even get the job at the freaking hospital. And now that I have a job that I actually enjoy and is legitimate, I hope you guys feel the joy that I'm feeling right now for that. That's what I pray for, is that everyone listening to this feels that kind of excitement for something like a job, you know? Because if you can love your job, and if you can, because you can kind of, because there's so many people on social media now that are like, dude, if you're working a 9 to 5 right now, you're already losing. You need to quit the 9 to 5 right now. There are so many other ways to make money. You need to start drop shipping. You need to start doing this and that. Stocks, crypto. If you're working a 9 to 5 right now, you are working for the man right now. You're still stuck in the matrix. I am the matrix. Shut up. Shut up. Yes. That has some truth in it for a retipus for a rus that is true for a repetitious job, maybe something as a part of a chain, but working in a hospital, I feel like I matter. I feel like what I'm doing matters. I feel like what I'm doing is actually doing something for the sake of someone's life. And it is. Like, I'm in charge of certain things that get used on certain patients. And it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for my position. I feel great. It's fun. I get to learn about I didn't even think I would even enjoy learning about this kind of stuff. I got a book from my boss on medical terminology. And I'm actually gonna read it. That's the craziest part. I'm enjoying it so much. I get to see so much cool stuff. I get to learn about all of these new items and instruments and tools that the surgeons use on these patients and blah blah blah. And one of the more intense parts is, so I'm working in. I'm really not trying to say too much here. I'm working in the sterile core. I should say, where all of the items are kept, and that core, that room, big room, but that room has access. That room has direct access to all of the operating rooms by a single door, and those doors have windows on them. And not the windows that maybe other people can see, where it's kind of purposely blurred, so you can still see if people are in there, but you can't see what's going on. Oh, brother, I see everything. And my buddy that I work with, the Puerto Rican gentleman, I was telling him, I said, like, I am purposely trying to force myself to watch these surgeries with my own 2 eyes, just so I can get myself conditioned to it and maybe a little bit desensitized. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get used to it, because at first it made me very, very dizzy and a little woozy, and I felt lightheaded when I first saw it. I'm getting better now. The other day I saw a foot without a big toe. What I thought was the big toe was actually the bone. Yeah. I watched a surgeon with the same amount of force that you would use trying to get a toy or an item out of your dog's mouth. I watched a surgeon use that same force to rip cauterized gallbladder out of a patient. You know what? You know what that does to a man? You know what that does to a man? Look at me. If you're just listening to this, I want you to open the app that you're listening to this on and look at the video part just for a second. You're driving, pull over. I want you to look me in the eyes. I want you to look at these eyes. I want you to notice that there's a little less light in them. Doesn't mean I'm not as happy. It just means I've seen some things, alright? You know what that does to a man? Watching a surgeon use the same force that a lioness would on the Discovery Channel? Do you know what that does to a man? These eyes have seen war, my friends. These eyes have seen war. These eyes have seen every part of a person that you have never wanted to see before in your life. But you know what? That's what it takes. That's the kind of work I'm putting in here. I have seen a lot of stuff so far, and it's only been a week. But you know what? Damn it. It's only making me stronger. There was a rather embarrassing one, though. I was looking, these windows into the operating rooms, they aren't that big. They are rather slim, you know? And you don't want to get up real close to it, you know, because you don't want to be the creepy guy where, like, if one of the nurses or the surgeons looks back at the door, they just see, like, my eye up against it. Plus, everyone in there knows I'm the new guy. I don't want to seem like I'm, like, you know, I'm, like, shocked by every little shiny object. You know, I don't want to seem ignorant. I don't want to seem unexperienced either, even though I am both of those things. So I'm kind of standing from afar trying to look at these surgeries. And the first one that I saw, I'm watching it and I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. I know they're digging into a person, but you know, I thought it was a stomach. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is that? And I'm seeing some pretty gnarly stuff right now. I'm like I can see some blood, you know, I can see this and that. And then the head honcho, the boss, the jefa of the OR comes over to me. Not to me, but comes over to my buddy and is talking to him, but she hears me say this under my breath. I'm looking at it and I say under my breath, I say, oh wow. That's new. That's a new one. You know, just kind of like thinking to myself, like, well, I've never seen that, before in my life, except for like on Blue Planet when the cuttlefish rip each other in half. And she says, "What's new?" I said, "That. What's the stuff that's going on in there?" She says, "Yeah, what do you see?" As I said, I see some blood. I think I see they're operating on a stomach. And she says, "A stomach?" I said, "Yeah, I think it's a stomach." And she puts her hand on my shoulder, which makes me turn my head towards her. And she says, "That's not a stomach. That's a boob." And I want you to understand what goes through my mind right after that. Now I'm shocked. Because that must have been a big boob for me to think it was a stomach. I also don't know what I'm looking at half the time because everything's covered in drapes. It had some size to it. But now she has put me in a particular position as a man where I would like to keep watching these surgeries. Skip the part of me trying to like desensitize myself to them. It's still very gratifying. Is that the word to use? It's very gratifying. I don't know. I'm just gonna use it. It's still very gratifying to see the items that I just stocked for the core. It's very pleasing to see those exact same items that I just stocked on the surgeon's carts and stuff. It's very gratifying to see that exact same item being used on that patient right then and there. Because I want to know what they're used for. You know what I mean? I don't just want to stock these items and not know what they're used for. I want to see them being used. But just by that one sentence, that woman has put me as a man in a very particular situation. That if I were to even decide to look back through the window now that she knows that I know it's a boob, I feel wrong. So I just kind of chalked that one up to a surgery missed. Because I'm like, I can't go back and look at it anymore. Because now that she knows that I know it's a boob, when she sees me looking at it, I don't want her to think there's an ulterior motive. Granted, I'm more attracted to the boobs that are not sliced in half. So I've seen a lot of things now in the surgery core. It's pretty freaking awesome, guys. I'm loving it so much. So back to why my life has changed in the last week. Now when I say change, not like forever change, like maybe like what an amputation might do to someone, but just kind of like my life, my current situation, my current life has changed. So I have this new job, which will help me afford a car. And then I got my first in a while, like I've done this plenty of times, but it's been a while since I've had one. I got my first open mic night gig in a while. I am hosting an open mic night now, weekly, at this cafe. And that is so huge for me because I'm very diligent with my budget. I have spreadsheets with all of the math that will show me numbers monthly, weekly, yearly, this and that. I'm very diligent with that. I wouldn't say I'm frugal, but I'm mindful. You know what I mean? So, and the one budget that I've always been self-conscious about and that I've worked so hard to get down is my budget for the drinks that I buy at the cafe. The drink that I'm drinking right now. I've done so much math, so many calculations to think of what days I should go in and buy what and blah 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 to get the number down as low as I can. And now I won't talk. I won't say numbers because that's not professional. That's not polite. But let me just say, I am not gonna have to pay for my own drinks anytime soon. And that right there, you guys don't even understand why that brings me so much joy, because that was the last part of my budget that I was self-conscious about. Everything else in my budget is necessary in some way. The theater pass for the cafe critique, some music production software, obviously for music and stuff. Rent, student loans, this, that, gas. And then there's the drinks. And I was like, now that I can get that off of there, guys, I'm going to get so much money back now. Things are going great here at the Something Cafe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? Things are going great here at the Something Cafe. Speaking of which, last night, or was it the night before? It was the night before. So on Thursday, I was at the cafe working on this, and I met two WWE wrestlers. Not like Undertaker, level, but like they are official, performing, active, contract signed WWE wrestlers. And I was like, holy shit. It only started because I was sitting right next to one of them, and the dude was giant. Both of these dudes are giant. The dude I was sitting next to, Kratom kind of gets you talkative. And for those of you who know me in my personal life, you think to yourself, how is that even possible? A drink that makes him even more talkative? Yeah. It's scary, isn't it? It's scary. It's a scary technology we got going on here, brother. The Mayans could not even predict this on their calendar. And the Mayans also couldn't predict that I would meet these wrestlers. I started the conversation because apparently I'm better at starting conversations with dudes than I am with girls, which with just saying that sentence in this moment right now just instantly made me a little sad. But hey, we're good. I said, dude, you look like Thor, brother. Just right off the bat. I have had no issues making friends in my life ever. I said, you look like Thor, dude. You look like Thor and Aquaman just signed a prenup. And he was like, thanks, man. I get that a lot. Thank you, man. I was like, dude, seriously, like you're just a cool looking dude. And his buddy is even bigger. He has the widest teeth I've seen in my entire life, like a shark. I mean, like, what? This giant Aussie dude. He's like, "Oh, mate, yeah. No, I'm from Brisbane, mate. Yeah. My name's Joseph. Yeah." I can't remember his name, but I was like, yeah. I'm from Brisbane. Been living here for about 5 years now, mate. Yeah. I was like, what do you guys do? Hey, we're WWE wrestlers, mate. Yeah. Work for the big man. WWE, mate. That's what I'm here doing for work, because there's not a whole lot of WWE over in the good old Outback, mate. I was like, holy crap. So I tried to say a joke to these guys, specifically to Thor. The Aussie guy was cool. The Thor guy was kind of in his own space. But I tried to land this joke to make them laugh, and he kept talking over me. So I kept trying to like redo the joke over and over again. And I would set it up and he would say something, and I'll be like, oh, haha, yeah. This kind of, and I would set it up again and he would do it again. And I would set it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I finally got it out. Like, I finally got the joke out, and like neither of them laughed. I was like, I said, guys, like, like people come up to you, they're like, oh my gosh, like, dude, like you're Thor, like, holy crap, like, like what was it like, being, Jason Momoa's stunt double for Aquaman, and I get something similar, guys, but like instead of Aquaman and Thor, it's like, oh man, Celestino, like what was it like being the stunt double for Gibby on iCarly? That's a great joke. Nothing. And I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe they've never seen iCarly before, but everyone my age knows what iCarly is. These guys were not my age, but I still thought maybe they would have gotten that reference. Because Gibby's like the chubby, like, kind of oaf of the iCarly series. iCarly being like the most popular TV show back in like the 2000s. Crickets. Just big, buff crickets. I was like, all right. Well, clearly that one did not hit as well as I wanted it to. And then we kept talking. I got both of their Instagrams, so maybe when I get more traction on this podcast, I could have one of them on. Hopefully the Australian guy. That mate was cool, mate. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. He was cool. Bloody cool, mate. Yeah, guys. Episode 14 of the Something Cafe podcast. Episode 14, that means we are on 14 weeks. Think about that. 14 weeks of the Something Cafe podcast. The Something Cafe brand with the brand new show Cafe Critique, hosted by Celestino Dooley, hosted by Brittany Loudon, reviewing movies in the most unprofessional ways possible. Grab a seat at the Cafe Critique. New episodes for the Something Cafe come out every Tuesday at 9 a.m. EST, as I am on the coast. New episodes for the Cafe Critique come out every Thursday at a time that I have not figured out yet. I will announce it though. Catch us on the social medias, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Sooner or later, I'm going to have the episodes up on things like Amazon Music and iHeartRadio. So those are in the works right now. You can catch the podcast right now, though, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music. You get the fun little shorts, the fun little clips, the content, the funny stuff. You get that at Instagram, TikTok, YouTube as well. I do have merch. Check out the merch store. I'll put the link in the description. And look, guys, don't do more work than you need to do. All right? Relax. You deserve a break. The links are in the description of this episode. You don't even have to search for it. Just go to the description of this episode, drop a follow. Drop a follow on Spotify for sure. Leave a rating, 5 stars. Pretty, please. That helps me out a lot. And I just want to thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Coming by the Something Cafe.